All right, and I will be moderating the session. This will be a very relaxed session. I don't want everybody to stress. Okay, you have question, you can ask. You don't have question, you don't have to ask. You don't know the answer, is still okay because we are all learning, right? Okay. Okay, so can everybody switch on the camera so that we can take photography for our attendance? Yeah. Um, okay. Okay, not everybody on. Okay, all right. Whenever you're ready, Puan Wan.
Yes. Okay. Cik Madiha.
Mr. Kanasik, can you on your camera? We will take big photography.
Yes.
Mr. Yang Peng. Okay, so all right. In three, okay. 3, 2, 1. Cheese.
Cheese.
All right. One more time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Cheese.
Cheese.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we will start in a minute. Yeah. I will be the first presenter. Okay, just to recap, yeah, we have 5 presenters for today. I will do the first presentation with my topic, and then goes by Mr. Chian, all right, on a comprehensive review of research on new generation information technology in hotel industry. And then we go by Puan Wan Hayati. She will presenting on the topic barrier versus benefit of e-wallet application, food service operator perspective. And then we move to Mr. Tanasik. Is it Mr. or Doctor?
Mr.
Mr. Tanasik, all right.
Yes.
May I know which university you are from?
Pardon me?
Which university are you from?
NIDA.
NIDA, okay, NIDA.
Yes.
NIDA, yeah. Okay. All right, we'll go by our 4th presenter, which is establishing kindness experience-centric service, boutique hotels, guest experience, and the last one is by Mr. Yang Peng, 7 P's Theory of Service Marketing, a survival strategy for hospitality sector post-COVID-19. All right, okay, so it's already 9:20. I will commence with my presentation. Yeah. So it's the recording, yeah. Okay, so all right, so this is my topic that I will do today, which is on developing Malaysia's smart community-based tourism model. And this is my group mate. There are actually 5 of us. And I'm the presenter, which is Puan Johanna. And for everybody, I am from Faculty of Hotel Tourism Management from UITM Pulau Pinang. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of the background. This is actually a proposed study. It's not a research yet. Yes, this is only at a proposal stage. Okay, and the study started because of well, we have a Malaysian National Tourism Policy 2030, which our government released last year. Okay, last year as a guideline for our local tourism industry. Okay, so in our policy, the National Tourism Policy, what we know that our government have stressed on smart tourism. Okay, the NTP, it actually started to address smart tourism as one of the engine to actually develop our tourism industry. So as comparison to the NTP in the previously, we did not highlight smart tourism, but the latest one, we highlight smart tourism as a transformation strategy. So what in the NTP, we noticed that NTP introduced transformation strategy to create smart tourism to rural areas. So what we found out that they highlight that they want to create smart tourism so that they can bring people to the rural areas. Yeah. All right, so smart tourism, it goes by, if you have read through smart tourism, it goes by, generally this is what the best I can find that I understand, all right. The term smart can be referred to technological, economic and social development enriched by ICT revolution that banks on sensor, data, new ways of connectivity and exchange of information, right? So the application of smart tourism has large influence on the tourism industry. We see that we cannot escape from smart tourism. Yeah, smart tourism has changed the customer, it has changed the tourist, how we do traveling, and it has changed the supplier, the tourism supplier, on how they do things. Yeah, because of the advancement in the technology. Okay. All right. So what about smart tourism in Malaysia? So since 2018, our government has actually created a lot of roadmap. All right, in achieving smart tourism, especially in gaining tourists into the country. Yeah. So in the 2020, Malaysian government released the NTP, Malaysian National Tourism Policy, as 10-year plan to strengthen the local tourism industry. So based on the NTP, they highlight that one of the challenges in Malaysia all this long, that there's an over reliance on traditional marketing, and because of that they want to make sure that smart tourism will be made available throughout the country for the tourism supplier and tourists. So we want to develop it. All right. So one of the things that because based on our study, we find that the smart tourism, they want to increase visitor economy to rural areas. As you can see, rural areas are a place that actually pose in terms of challenges on development and also infrastructure. So that's why we are very interested to make this study. How will the rural area take this smart tourism? And of course, this one is just to show. Actually, I think this thing they come out before the pandemic. Yeah, a study by Monitor Deloitte states that smart tourism has the potential to increase Malaysia tourism revenue from current 25 billions to 100 billion by the year 2020. So it shows that how much we really want to expedite the smart tourism in Malaysia. Yeah, and of course, the concern is on rural tourism. So in Malaysia, rural tourism is very much related to community-based tourism, and those involved in community-based tourism very much are operating homestay business. Okay, so generally, even though my study is about community-based tourism, but actually I'm very much focused on the homestay. Okay, so rural tourism has long been a Malaysian government endeavor in the NTP, in which tourism is seen as a mechanism to eradicate poverty and improve livelihood. All right, and we know that since 1995, our government has taken good care of the homestay. We really, the Ministry of Tourism really push our homestay industry. But however, some of these homestay are actually located outside of the big city. They are actually located in the rural area. So we have the question of how would this homestay accept smart tourism? Are we going to how are they going to do this? Yeah, in a shorter, nicer way of saying it. The problem statement. Well, this one is based on the research. Previous research. Previous research generally they study on how homestay and ICT, how they take ICT. Not smart tourism, but more on how they manage their websites and how they promote. Okay, so generally, the one that I found, they say that generally some of the challenges of this homestay is due to the expertise, lack of awareness, and sometimes those who have a problem with operating their website. But that is only ICT level. What about smart tourism? Yeah, where we actually need more technology. We also think there are also such thing as a digital divide in rural areas because of geography. And latest discussion on webinar by Professor Amran, he said that in order for us to achieve smart tourism, there is a question whether we are ready towards smart tourism, especially our tourism supplier. Moreover, in the Southeast Asian context of smart tourism and community-based tourism, the area is still scant. Actually, smart tourism research in general in Malaysia is still lacking. There are a lot of research done in Korea, in China, in Europe. But however, if you look at Malaysia context, I think we still need people to contribute to the area. Okay, so hence in line with NTP that aims to develop smart tourism in rural destination, this study will do research on smart tourism in the context of CBT in Malaysia. The study is a necessary endeavor as it will help grasp the difficulty and needs faced by homestay owner in adopting smart tourism. Okay, so this is our the objective that we would like to achieve. Oops, sorry. Okay, to identify smart CBT from Malaysia's context. And number two, to determine the readiness, how ready our CBT, community-based tourism, especially the homestay owner, towards smart tourism, because we are going that way. And of course, to identify strategies for smart CBT that could be a reference for government once we have developed a model. Okay, so the methodology that we would like to take, all right, will based on a qualitative approach. We would like to interview people, purposive sampling, whereby we are very selective on who we talk to. Generally, those are directly involved in the community-based tourism or homestay. Okay, for example, we have Ministry of Tourism. We would like to talk to a representative from Homestay Association of Malaysia and chairman or president of homestay program throughout Malaysia. And we will do an interview, right, so that we can get some information from them. This is our expected findings. Expected findings is we would like to formulate a model for smart CBT in Malaysia. All right, and also we can determine whether how ready the homestay owner in doing the to develop themselves towards smart tourism. And this is aligned with our national government vision 2020, and also our another vision, which is KEGA 3 and KEGA 15. And also it is at par with Sustainable Development Goal and on sustainable cities and community. All right. And the implication is that, and theoretically, we would like to well, this one is hoped to contribute towards academic theories, all right, some knowledge. And social implication is that the research will impact the local community by helping them upgrade their current knowledge and improve their business through smart tourism, if we manage to come up with the model. All right. And that is all from my presentations on the proposed study that my group would like to make. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any comments or any question? I will try to answer. If I cannot, I'm so sorry. Okay, so that is just a proposed study that we want to talk to the homestay owner, because most of the homestay owner in Malaysia, they are located far away from the city, but yet our government did mention they want to create smart tourism to help this rural community reach to the public. Yeah. If you have any comments, question, you can ask. Okay, all right. It's all right, okay. All right. So no question, yeah? Okay, so we move along, all right, with our second presenter, which is Chi An from Wongsun University, South Korea. All right, very interesting. Okay, and his topic is a comprehensive review of research on new generation information technology in the hotel industry. Mr. Wang Sun, you may take the stage.
Okay, thank you. Wait a minute. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Chi An. I'm studying PhD in Wongsun University in South Korea. Dr. Putra is my supervisor. My topic today is a comprehensive review of research on new generation information technology in the hotel industry. So let me direct your attention to the screen. This presentation is divided into 6 parts. I want to begin with the introduction, and then I will move on to the review process, And next, we are talking about the general findings, main findings, and finally, we will land on future research and agenda. Okay, let me begin with my presentation. So first, let's look at the introduction. In this part, I will introduce the background of my research. The aging problem of the world's population is becoming increasingly serious. The change of the population age structure will decrease the labor supply. As a labor-intensive industry, the labor force is an important resource of the hotel industry. So the decrease of the labor supply will lead to the rise of the labor cost and the fair competition for human resources. So the development of the new generation information technology has brought more possibilities for machines to replace labor and solve the labor shortage problem. The NJIT, such as big data, mobile internet, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing, are applied to the hotel. Based on the continuous application of NJIT in the hotel industry, the research studied the impact of the NJIT on the main stakeholders of the hotel industry, including hotel properties, hotel employees, and hotel customers. Therefore, the research studies the issues by a comprehensive review of the literature as follows. What impacts on the general hotel industry, hotel employees, hotel customers, and revenue management. So, and the last research question is how to apply the NJIT to hotel in the future. Now I'd like to move on to the second part of the presentation review process. The NJIT in this research is defined as big data, artificial intelligence, mobile internet, cloud computing. To apply the NJIT, the hotels always use robots or self-service devices. Some of these hotels can be called smart hotels. Based on the definition and types of NJIT, this study used 4 online databases to obtain relevant articles after 2010, and nearly 200 articles were obtained. For comprehensive review, then the sample articles were selected. Finally, 60 articles were selected and import to InVivo 12 for coding and analyzing. This is the 4 database. We are all familiar with this: Web of Science, Emery, Science Direct, and Taylor and Francis. Yeah. So now let's move on to the general findings. For the general distribution, the Journal of Hospitality Marketing and Management, International Journal of Hospitality Management have the same highest number of publications. The number of articles is 7, followed by the tourism management perspectives and tourism management. The number of articles is 5. In terms of yearly distribution, except for 2014, fewer studies on HRT in the hotel industry from 2011 to 2017. However, from 2017 to 2018, the number of articles increased by a small margin. From 2019, the number of articles increased significantly. For research methods and data sources, the quantitative methods is the dominant methods. The number of articles is 28. Yeah, it's nearly 50%. The descriptive, theoretical, or review articles is followed. The number of articles is 17. It's nearly 30%. For research context, the USA and China is the dominant research context. It's nearly 23 articles here. is more than 30%. Part 4 is the main findings of the research. Most of the studies is from the information technology or service robot. The number of articles is 44, is more than 70%. The studies most focus on the general industry. If we look at this article from the perspective of the main topics, the number of articles is 24. So followed by the perspective of customs, the number of articles is 19, is also more than 30%. So for the main findings, now let's look at the NGIT and the hotel industry from the perspective of the stakeholders. NGIT is more and more widely used in hotels. As an important product of NGIT, service robot can intensify the technical competition, and it also has an important impact on hotel service process, service quality, and the relationship between employees and customers. From the perspective of the hotel employees, the use of NGIT can solve the plight of labor shortage, but it also brings unemployment risk of a large number of labor force. Service robots can not only help hotel staff to better complete service, but also bring problems in guest communication. From the perspective of hotel customs, service robots become a popular feature in the evolution of the hotel stay. The use of robots will affect customer satisfaction and customers' experience. In these years, maybe in the post-COVID-19 area, it also can reduce perceived risk of versus. From the perspective of the hotel revenue management, the NGIT also bring many opportunities and challenges to the hotel industry. The hotel should better manage revenue and obtain more revenue by NGIT. However, with the help of internet and big data, NGIT is prone to the risk of data leakage. So the hotel need to better manage data security. That is the findings of the research. Now, let's move on to the part 5, future research and agenda. From the perspective of the different types of NGIT, for the future research, we should investigate the ways to elevate the risk in the context of the application of big data and explore AR services and their relationship with organizational performance and custom-related outcomes. We should also, for the future research, we should also examine the influence of smartphone apps on hotel guest adoption intention behavior. From the perspective of stakeholders of the hotel industry, for future research, we should investigate the impact of robot hotel service on human resources management. And also we can compare the experience between the traditional and robot hotel service. We also can investigate the interaction between the robots and the hotel workers and their experience. The last part is references. Okay, that brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Thank you.
Right. Anyone here would like to ask questions or give some comments on Chi An's research? All right, he's doing comprehensive review on new generation information technology. Okay, so this is not relating to your research, but because you're from China, I would like to know, you mentioned about robotics. Do you have an example that robotics that has been used in hotels in China for services?
Yes, I think the first we call smart hotels in China in Hangzhou City. Yeah,
all right.
It has been used many technologies. just like robot or other technologies. Yeah, so it's also no employees in these hotels, you know.
Oh, so you have a hotel where there's no employees at all.
Yes.
I
Yes.
see. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have not reached that level yet. All right. Can you give me an example? What kind of robotic how like who do the housekeeping in that hotel?
For the housekeeping,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it robot or human?
You know, if you want to a bottle of water or cola or
Uh-huh.
beer, yeah, then you can order. Then the robot can deliver this, you know, this
To your
water
room.
cola to you.
I
Yeah,
see.
you can
Okay.
do
All
it
right.
all. Yeah, so
Oh, okay. All
also,
right.
also you can have a different experience. You know, you can take a photo with robots. Yeah, so I think it's very different experience. Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. So you already have that in China, eh? Fully
Yes.
robotic hotels. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So that is actually the future. Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Chian has found areas that has not been explored in a new generation information technology. Right. So I think there's a lot of potential for your research, yeah, because this is an area where we are going to that direction, yet the knowledge is still limited. So I think it's a good area for your study. Right. Well done, Mr. Chian. We don't have any question, right, for him? Okay, I don't see. All right. Okay, thank you very much, yeah, for our second presenter. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very
All
much.
right, welcome. Okay, so now we move to our third presenter. All right, Mr. Wan Hayati will present on barrier versus benefit of e-wallet application, food service operator perspective. Yeah, you can continue.
Hi, thank you, Madam Chairman. All right, allow me to share my screen. Can you see my slide?
Yes, yes.
Right, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and a very good morning. Hello guys. Okay. I am Wan Hayati binti Wan Bujang from University Technology Mara, UiTM Cawangan Pulau Pinang. I am delightful today because I will share some of the findings and results from my study for our study. Okay. The topic is actually barriers and benefit of e-wallet application from the perspective of food service operators. Here is the presentation outline. Okay, I will share a little bit on background of the study, literature review, problem statement, methodology, result, and discussion, limitation, and also the conclusion. Okay, for the background of the study, okay, currently numbers of smartphone users has increased exponentially. Okay, and then nowadays smartphones are not just a communication device, but also used to socialize, to conduct business, to have the entertainment, as a gaming device, and also it can be used as payment tools. For example, digital wallet. Okay, for the becoming and upcoming ways of purchasing goods and services without any physical movement of cash. Stored stored all the e-wallet is actually they can store all consumer payment information securely and compactly in the e-wallet application. Because of this COVID-19, it's brought up the crisis and challenges in food and beverage industry, but also brought opportunities. Okay, e-wallet is actually giving us the minimum physical contact, and we can use the cashless payment. Okay, from the literature review, we have found that there are several advantages of e-wallet. Okay, for example, we have no physical movement of cash, stored transaction information secured, faster transaction anywhere, anytime, no rushing to banks, no need to withdraw cash, and also it is use of transaction, and then it also can replace hard cash notes. Okay. So most e-wallet users are regular internet users, although many others are still not exposed to the e-wallet system. However, there are still some problems incurred in this system, particularly on the security and also the technology aspect. Since the system is still new, okay, a lot of users are still unfamiliar and on how the system is functioning. Yes, it is true because especially during the pandemic, we are encouraged in Malaysia we are encouraged to use e-wallet because of the pandemic. Okay, and then therefore most of users still depend heavily on price of items and also services, as well as the convenience in using e-wallet. Okay, these are the example, okay, types of e-wallet that used in Malaysia. Okay, we have a lot here. Okay, Boost, GrabPay, Razer, BigPay, Aeon Wallet, Alipay, and etc. All right, so there are factors contributing towards intention to use e-wallet based on Sunny and George 2018. Okay, there are factors. Okay, here we have 5 factors that contribute the consumer to use the e-wallet. For example, we have perceived ease of use, social influence, demonetization, promotional offers, and also perceived security. All right. There are also some risks, okay, some risk perception in terms of e-wallet. There are physical risks, performance risks, psychological risk, time loss, and also financial risk. So these are the factors that consumer concern, okay, about the use of e-wallet. From the literature also, okay, there are issues of e-wallets. Okay, because of these issues, because of these issues, it encouraged the consumer to use the e-wallet. For example, okay, resistant from older generation. Okay, and of course, some of the senior citizens, they are not familiar with the smartphone. Okay, and also the e-wallet. Okay, and then it takes time to implement and adopt. Yes. Okay, insecure transaction, some of the transaction could be insecure. Okay, and then stolen information through fake website. Yes, it happened nowadays. Some of the information of the consumer was stolen, okay, from the website. And then privacy issues of existing payment system, and then credit card numbers stolen by hackers. So these issues actually affect or disencourage the customer to use the e-wallet. Right, even though there are many advantages in using a wallet, there are still clear risks which must address. Okay, to top it all, okay, Abdul Hamid and Cheng indicate that there are 5 types of risks of using e-wallet applications, which are physical, performance, psychological, time loss, and financial risk. Okay, user is rather adopting the traditional or the conventional one, which we use cash payment instead of changing their habit to use the electronic payment. Okay, looking into the theory of innovation resistant by Ram and IJCHT 1989, there are barriers to adoption rises due to incompatibilities with the existing habit knowledge and the user itself. Here we can see that barriers to adoption of e-wallet. Okay, we have 2 barriers, which are functional barriers and psychological barriers. Right, for the problem statement, okay, digital transformation is sweeping through the service sector, specifically in food and beverage, wellness center, retailers, hotel, as well as tourism industry. Most technology research in the hospitality, food and beverage, and hotel nowadays has focused on technology in service, production, operation, and also web-based operation. Okay, since e-wallet is still new to Malaysia, okay, it is hard to normalize the use of it in every transaction, even though e-wallet is easy to practice. Yes, in Malaysia, we're still in the stage of trying the e-wallet. Some of us, maybe we feel that e-wallet is convenience, but for certain people, they are not familiar with the e-wallet, and then they go for the conventional methods. Okay, taking all into consideration, it is deemed imperative for the researchers to document the viewpoint of food service operators on the e-wallet application in their restaurant in effort to conclude its benefit, barrier, and recommendation towards improving e-wallet application in Malaysia. So for this study, we focus on the viewpoint of the food service food service operator. All right, for the methodology, okay, this research is actually apply qualitative approach, okay, and then we use non-contrived setting, and then for sampling method, we use no-ball sampling, which we have 11 respondents, and then we have the interview protocol, and then the tools that we use to analyze our data is actually atlas.ti. And then we have the thematic analysis, coding, team, and also network. And then we have report writing, result presentation with the quotation. So these are the result and the discussion, okay, the result of the study, okay, that we conducted, okay. From the result from the analysis of the interview transcript had produced types of e-wallet use, okay. Food service operator perspective on e-wallet, benefit of e-wallet implementation, barriers of e-wallet implementation, recommendation on e-wallet implementation. Every of the themes and codes presented are also portrayed by its own individual network. So these are the data on demographic section, represent a cocktail of restaurant categories from quick service, fast food, franchise, as well as individual owned restaurant. All the information of the initial profile of the respondent are stated below. Okay, we have 11 restaurant, okay, consists of manager, owner, and junior supervisor, and also the team leader. All right. So after we conducted the study, we came up with the first team, which is food service operator perspective on e-wallet. Okay. In a nutshell, from this study, okay, we have found thematic analysis 5 codes that we derived for this team, namely less physical contact, time saving, convenience, fast transaction, systematic, cash management. So from the perspective of food service operator, they found that, okay, the e-wallet is actually less physical contact because of encouraged by the pandemic COVID-19. And then of course, it is actually time saving, okay. It is convenient and fast transaction, okay, and then systematic cash management. So directly because of the e-wallet, the cash or the transaction directly into their system. All right, the second theme is actually benefit of e-wallet implementation. From the interview section, we found that there are few codes, okay, there are 6 codes of benefit of e-wallet implementation, which the first code is actually secure transaction. Okay, they see that all the transaction is secure by using e-wallet, and then they can avoid theft and pilferage. Yes, okay. And then number 3, operational convenience. Okay, number 4, accurate transaction. Okay, accurate transaction means you can monitor from your devices all the e-wallet directly to the flow of the money is directly to the restaurant system. Okay, and then promotional use, increased number of customers. Okay. Next theme, okay, there are barriers of e-wallet implementation. Okay, there are 5 codes together, which are, okay, there are 5 barriers of e-wallet in this study. Okay, from the perspective of food service operator, number 1 is no barrier. Okay, number 2, faulty devices. Okay, there are faulty devices because sometimes they don't have enough data and etc. So that is actually faulty devices also. Okay, technical problems. Sometimes the food service operator parts, the machine, okay, is actually not functioning. The internet connection is not good. Okay, that is the technical problems. And then lack of usage. Okay, and then unstable internet connection. Unstable internet connection is actually came from 2 parties. One is actually from the service provider or the restaurant itself. Okay, the internet connection from the the restaurant itself, and number two is actually from the consumer. Sometimes they don't have, sometimes the restaurant is located at the area which the internet connection is not good. Okay, number four, okay, there are recommendation on e-wallet implementation based on food service operator. Okay, there are 9 codes, okay, that recommended by the food service operator. Number one is actually no recommendation. Okay, number two, improve e-wallet application. And then number three, prepare emergency cash. Yes, from the study, sometimes because of the e-wallet process, okay, but sometimes e-wallet is not functioning, the money, the balance inside the account is not enough. So the food service operator, okay, recommend the consumer to have some money, okay, if the transaction is failed, and then they can continue to pay using the cash. Okay, reward to vendor, improve internet connection, increase exposure and awareness, government funding towards improvement and improve e-wallet devices. Okay, and then provide technical training, because sometimes the food service provider itself, they don't know how to use that e-wallet machine. Okay, so as the limitation of this study, okay, of course it is time constraint, because we have limited the research potential extensively, limited time allocation, and had bound the number of respondents, number of question asked, and coverage of the research area. And then on top of that, this is the critical one, because of COVID-19 outbreak had limited the movement of the researcher, so we cannot conduct face-to-face interview, which is definitely produce a global better responses. And then many food service operator were reluctant. Actually, this is the biggest one issues too. Okay, they are reluctant to give full cooperation, jeopardizing the effort to fully address the research purpose. Okay, as the conclusion of this study, okay, further implementation of e-wallet means that physical wallet and hard cash are one step closer to being outmoded. Okay, the government had paved the way, and though basic facilities have been prepared, there are still much to improve. For your information, our government actually during MCO they provide touch and go e-wallet. They have give us some what we call some amount of money to support, okay, in the e-wallet, to support the e-wallet system. Okay, so the benefit and barriers for e-wallet implementation has been vital in shaping the future of the application. By addressing the previous limitation, perhaps that in future, okay, there are another future study research could be conducted with deeper insight of the e-wallet usage. From that, thank you from me.
Okay, thank you very much, Puan Wan Hayati. All right, on her insights into the usage of e-wallet, especially from the food service, operators. Okay, we have a question. All right, Alhamdulillah. All right, we have a question from Nick Madiha. Yes.
Okay, hi. I have a question on the research location. You are focusing on Puncak Alam and Sarjana Utama, right?
Yes.
May I know what is your concern by focusing on that area? Because e-wallet is like a technology thing. So I think the location itself replicate the urban areas already. Okay, that is number one. And number two, maybe I need you to clarify more on the respondents. Okay, you are interviewing the food operators, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then because I need just to understand more about your research. The risk that you explained just now is more concerning on the consumer side. So maybe you can clarify on that. That's all. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nick Madiha. Okay, so the study is actually conducted in Puncak Alam and Sarjana Utama because the researcher is actually near to UiTM. Okay, so we conducted near to our campus, so that is why we choose the Puncak Alam and Saujana Utama. Okay, so that is near to our campus, so we just can, because we cannot travel to the other state, so so we focus on the nearest area of our campus. Okay, and then the second question, okay, so from the perspective of food service operator actually, Miss Madiha, okay, so from the perspective of food service operator, they feel that all the discussion is actually from the perspective of food service operator. They feel that there are some benefit, advantages, or barriers that they face in conducting this study. Okay, so it is not focused on consumer. Sorry if I mentioned a lot of consumer, but it's actually from the perspective of food service operator itself, because they are dealing with the consumer who are using the e-wallet. Okay, Miss Madiha.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. Okay. Just a concern. I'm not concerned. Just wondering. So, was it very hard to get the food service to cooperate
Yeah.
with the research? You mentioned they were reluctant.
Yeah, they're reluctant to have the session with because of the MCO, right? They are very scared to communicate with us, or sometimes when we call them, okay, it will, because you know that the interview session will take a lot of time, okay, through call, and also the what we call the Google form. Okay, so we pass the questionnaire through Google form, and also the interview through phone. Okay, so they're reluctant to what to accept our invitation to join the study.
I see. All
Yeah,
right. They're not very open to
yeah, they
open
are
up.
not very open.
So
Yes.
possibly PNC.
Yes, yeah, that is the correct. Or sometimes they're reluctant because they don't have that kind of e-wallet application in their restaurant.
I see. Okay. All right. That was some of the limitation. Yeah.
Yes, some of them
All right.
limitation.
Okay. Thank you. Good job. All right. Puan Wan Hayati on her sharing. Okay. Thank you for the session. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we move on to Mr. Tanasit Suksudi from NIDA. All right. From Thailand. All right. Establishing Thailand's experience-centric service. In the case of boutique hotel guest preferences. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Tanasit.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen first. All right, can you see my presentation?
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Thanasit Suksuti. I am a PhD candidate in tourism and hospitality management at NIDA. So today, me and my advisor, Assistant Professor Dr. Wasida Bunjan Metaporn, like to present our paper research in the topic Establishing Thailand's Experience-Centric Service Boutique Hotel Guest Preference. Oh, sorry. So this is our presentation outline today. Start from introduction, research objective, and the several topic in Thailand's research methodology, result discussion, and conclusion and implication. So let's start with the introductions of Thailand. According to Tourism Authority of Thailand, has used the concept of Thailand to promote the tourism of the country in order to attract tourist experience, to create value added, and to extend our value awareness among Thai people. And Thais are considered as an untouched society that began with a Y, and this is to reduce service confrontations to prevent a disease epidemic. The hotel industry therefore declining traditional ways of service systems, the use of different strengths as a strategy to create guest experience, value added, and having a higher standard can be considered for the business opportunity. And Chinese service allow guests to have a good attitude, perceive the true meanings, and balance between the interpretation and experience. However, using the Chinese value as a tool requires a holistic approach. Hence, effective managing of Chinese could be an important tool in the competitiveness of the global hospitality industry. And Chinese can create customer experience and has a positive effect on mental and emotional values, especially in the boutique hotels that has a unique story, brand concept, owner passion, architecture and interior design through the properties and the service models. It draws the guest's attention and to visit the hotel. Therefore, the applications of the Chinese in the COVID-19 pandemic considered as the strategy. And also, guest behavior post-COVID-19 pandemic will be changed significantly over the long term. For example, like health and safety will be concerns, different relationship, new priorities, and outer relationship. Hence, post-COVID-19 pandemic, hotel management learn to deepen understandings of the guests of the ever-changing challenging situation. This study aims to investigate the attributes of Chinese experience-centric service in the perspective of boutique hotel guests during COVID-19 pandemic. Given a scarcity of research on experience-centric based on Chinese, filling important research gaps with an in-depth understanding of boutique hotel guest perception, it provides a tool to identify the experience-centric service that guests prefer of the boutique hotels providing the Chinese provision. And Thai is a Thai culture that can be seen everywhere in Thailand. It is a symbol of Thai identity, and people can recognize immediately. Has a positive effect on mental values and feelings. Also, Thainess has categorized into a different 7 groups in the cultural dimension include Thai food, Thai arts, Thai way of life, Thai wellness, Thai festival, Thai wisdom, and Thai fun. Thainess in the hospitality perspective in Thailand also explained in the cultural dimensions, uniqueness and identity of the Thai national. In addition, Thainess in the hotel context are explained through 4 characteristics include the physical characteristic and the atmosphere of Thai arts and architecture, the characteristic of the Thai service, Thai wisdom and Thai way of life, and the Thainess service. And this research based on the concept, as you can see in the slides, include experience economy, customer experience, and experience-centric service, which is emphasize the result of thoughts, emotion, and feeling, and create psychological value in order to encourage the guests to interact, participate, and being a part of the hotel activity and service element. Thainess experience-centric service attributes from our literature review, we come up with the attributes of TECS or Thainess experience-centric service. It focuses on creating cultural value, determine a guest journey and service touch point to encourage guests to interact and feel engaged with the service activity surrounding the Thainess context. As a result, creating a positive experience, satisfaction, and impression. So then we come up with the Thainess elements. As you can see, it consists of 5 Thainess elements include Thai hospitality, Thai arts, Thai way of life, Thai food service, and Thai wellness service. This research is a pure quantitative research. We study of guests of boutique hotel, both Thai and international guests in Bangkok, use a sample random sampling with 112 samples. The assess into 5 levels according to the Likert scales and questionnaire selecting question with the objectives of the contents from level 0.5 and above only. Reliability and validity tests include 4 steps. Example, initial items development, purifying measurement implementation, data collection. It is taken online by Google Form due to the given COVID-19 pandemic, and exploratory factor analysis used to purify the reliability measurement. And this is the result of behavior of hotel guests. I will speak briefly as so for full paper you can see from my research. Yes, most of them are males and aged between 21 to 38 years old. They are Generation Y and they are Thai nationality. They graduated bachelor degrees and they are a private company employee. Most of them are single and the average income more than $1,407. The traveling with objective for leisure and the numbers of room night is 2 to 4 nights. The average expense per stay is more than 5,000 baht, and most of them stay 1 to 2 times in a year, and they're traveling with friends. The reason for choosing of hotel with Thainess service is the Thainess location and locality. They find information of the hotel from online agency, and the most popular area is Phuket. The modes of transport to hotel is private car, and the periods of stay mostly stay are between their vacation. And this is the Efa results. Conrad alpha analysis result were greater than 0.7, and KMO and Malaysian result, as you can see in the table. Total variance explained three components with the eigenrange of 1.145 to 18 to 0.829, the cumulative variance of 76 to 532%. Rotated factor metric value component 1 consists of 12 variables named Chinese experience service. Component 2 consists of 12 variables named Chinese perceived value, and component 3 consists of 4 variables named Thai hospitality. And this is the result of arranging variables into components and naming. As you can see, TES stands for Thai experience service, and TPV stands for Thai perceived value, and TH stands for Thai hospitality. For the discussion, boutique hotel guests preference the hotel service, which are useful for implementing hotel strategy in enhanced guest satisfaction and expectation prior to COVID-19 pandemic. The Thainess experience-centric service consists of 28 item measurement scales, include Thainess experience service, Thainess perceived value, and Thai hospitality. Thainess experience-centric service can be used to determine guest journey and service touch point, to encourage guests participate in hotel service and create a memorable experience. TES, our Thainess experience service include Thai aroma, Thai herbs personal care, Thai herbs products, Thai food knowledge, and etc. And also Thainess perceived value or TPV can create the value of Thainess experience-centric service and causing positive guest memory and guest satisfaction, which includes warm service, attentiveness, respectfulness, thanks, politeness, and etc. And the last one, Thai hospitality, is considered important for providing service in the Thai hotel and can cause feelings of warmth and comfort to the guests, include sincere service, enthusiasm of the service, cleanliness, and humble service. For suggestions for applying the research result, in order to encourage guests to interact and feel engaged with service activity, the hotel should initially identify the guest journeys and service touch point by consider Thainess experience service concept. To increase value perception of hotel product and services, the hotel should focus on Thainess perceived value as the service guideline. And to create warm satisfaction, memorable experience, guest expectation, the hotel should encourage Thai hospitality to be the service standard. Thainess experience-centric service is considered as a personalized service. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it helps to reduce the service encounter and guest confrontation. The finding provides boutique hotel management with a new tool to assess the experience-centric service, and the hotel should focus on influence the guest satisfaction and behavioral intention. In conclusion and implication, the originality of this research is highlighted in several points. Thainess is non-touch society as a personalized service. It can prevent of the disease epidemics with confrontation avoidance. The research contributes value creation strategy of Thainess perceived value in creating high quality standards of the hotel. Thainess is determining hotel guest journey and service touch points and encourage guest interact engaging with Thainess service, and also can create a positive experience and guest satisfaction. For the future research direction, bigger samples would be better and might increase the robustness of the proposed scale by using confirmatory factor analysis and research limitation due to COVID-19 pandemic. This research collected data from Google platforms. To avoid the retrieval failures problem, hotel guests should be surveyed just after their stay in hotels or not long afterwards. And lastly, the hotel classification and star rating was not under this consideration. And me, I'd like to thank you for my advisor Assistant Professor Dr. Vasida Bunyami Thapon for her patience with my papers, and anyone would like to have any query or in question with about my papers or in another related topic, we appreciate for your requirements, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Tanasi. It's very interesting. All right,
Very
on your
much.
topic,
Yes.
on Thainess. You study on the Thainess in a hotel.
Yes.
Before that, do we have any question from the audience? Okay, regarding Mr. Tanasi's research work. Now, I smile all the way because when you talk about Thai service, it really reminds me of my Thai experience. I really love Thailand, you know. I think
So
in
thank you.
Southeast Asia, Thailand is, in terms of hospitality, is it number one?
But actually, I think the Asian country they we have the root culture. So we can see Asians can smile, can have a we
Mm,
can perceive, we can touch our Asianness. It is not just
mm,
like just Thainess, but the Thainess has our own culture. So
mm.
so so my research is specific only on Thainess. But for me, I believe Asians is the hospitality
Is good.
area.
All right, so humble of you. All right, because we're Malaysian, we can feel the Thai. Just may I know, are all hotel in Thailand apply the Thai environment? Does that happen in all hotel in Thailand?
Yes, mostly because even the international hotel chain, they just try to apply some of Thailand. For example, like architecture, or sometimes they may start with greet the guests with wine or and smile. Yes,
Mm.
that and some hotel they use all the Thailand. For example, like Dusitani chain hotel chain, it is a Thai hotel. They apply a lot of Thailand for the hotel conception.
Oh, all right, okay. Still no question. Okay, I have question more. You have one of your locations already open, right? For tourism, Phuket, is it?
Yes, it is a
Yeah.
we call Phuket Sandbox, but it's still on the regulation and the concepts of the
SOP.
prevention of the COVID-19.
Yeah. Is there any changes in how the hoteliers apply their service? Do you have any idea on that?
Uh, for me, I think at least Thailand, as we just mentioned in my research, the
Mm-mm.
Thailand we start with Y, so we reduce for the service confrontation or may touch to each other. That is to reduce the for the this is the pandemic. But right now we try to in the hotel in Thailand we try to focus on uh, the healthiest and the cleanliness or the something that prevented the COVID-19.
I see. So means that what about your spa? You are very well known for your spa. So do you have your spa? Do you apply? I mean, do you have your spa service during the COVID-19?
Yes, right now we just open for some massage. It is not
Oh,
for the whole body. For example, like foot
oh.
massage only.
I
Yeah.
see. Or they don't offer the whole service. Yeah. All
Yes.
right. Okay.
Right.
All right. I actually before your presentation, I didn't know there's such thing as kindness service. Yeah. It's actually it's something that you research on. Yeah. Kindness.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's I think yeah Thailand. I mean I know you mentioned that Asia well known, but I think Thailand your service is just something different that you can say you can brand it as a Thai service. Kindness. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. Okay. So since we don't have questions, thank you so much, Mr. Tanasik, for the sharing of your
Thank you very
PhD.
much. My
All
pleasure.
right. Okay. And then, so we are almost at the end. All right. So we have our last presenter today. Okay, Mr. Yang Peng from NIDA as well. All right. His topic is Seven Piece Theory of Service Marketing, a survival strategy for hospitality sector post COVID-19. Yeah, Mr. Yang Peng. I would like to call Mr. Yang Peng. Are you available? Is your internet okay? Mr. Yang Peng?
Yes, I'm sorry. There are something wrong with my VPN.
Okay, all right. You try to sort it out. We'll give ourselves 5 minute break. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Well,
I'm stopped now.
oh, you can start. Yes, you can start now. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. There are something wrong with my VPN. Connect to the internet. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes. We can see your screen.
Okay. Uh, Good morning, everyone. I'm Yang Pen. This is my research presentation with my supervisor, Washita. Our research topic is 7PS0 of service marketing innovation, a survival strategy for hotel sector post-COVID-19 in China. And my presentation is divided into 5 parts. First of all, I will briefly introduce the current epidemic background. At present, nearly 100 mutated virus has been mutated in COVID-19. There are still large-scale infections in some countries with high vaccination rates. The epidemic situation in some countries controlled well and some serious. Hotel industry is a relatively fragile industry, which is sensitive to major political, economic, military, public health, and natural disasters in a country or region. Hotels are also labor and energy intensive enterprises. It's difficult to return to the state before the COVID-19 outbreak in a short time. Furthermore, China is one of the best countries in controlling the COVID-19, with only imported cases from outside the country and sporadic cases in isolated areas. Is already considered to be in the post-COVID-19 era. Next, I will introduce the problem statement and research gap. After COVID-19, people's demand for hotels decreased. Hotels are facing greater competition and operational pressure. The hotel has not tried marketing zero to formulate a marketing strategy. For the post-epidemic period, the research on hotel marketing in China mainly focus on intelligent and innovative areas, while the research on service marketing is less. The most important object outcome are promote the formulation of a systematic study on hotel service marketing in China after the COVID-19 epidemic and gave some suggestions for Chinese hotel, provided some feasible theoretical references for relevant researchers in the field to find their service marketing improvement countermeasures, but my research lacks quantitative analysis, research, innovation, and not deep enough. There are 3 main traits about the present situation of China's hotel industry. First, many hotel closures. It's reported that COVID-19 caused about 2% of hotels in the world to be closed. Under the influence of COVID-19, people avoid going out as much as possible and the customer groups are reduced. The development of the hotel industry is limited by the regular prevention and control requirements of COVID-19. I summarize some important background of hotel service marketing. Hotel industry research starts earlier and after a period of development. The hotel service marketing system is relatively mature. However, the research on service marketing is most qualitative. Um, Service marketing can enhance hotel brand value, improve customer satisfaction and loyalty, and enhance hotel competitiveness, meet the extra needs of customers. Since 1916, the research of service marketing has gone through three strategies. Initial strategy. Service marketing has just been spared from marketing exploration stage. Service marketing research has its own research paradigm and core research content. In breakthrough strategy, service marketing research achieved theoretical breakthrough and practical innovations. Next, I will introduce the application of 7PS in hotels. This form is the element and connotation of 7PS. In products, focus on marketing segmentation of service products. In price, the hotel's price strategy should be to determine the price by quality. In place with the development of internet, hotels need to adopt effective online marketing methods. In promotions, it's necessary to combine the target audience and scientifically determine the advertising target. In people, improve the loyalty of customers by improving the ability of employees. In physical evidence, it can effectively improve the frequency and amount of consumption and customer satisfaction of customers in hotels. In process, employee satisfaction is the basis of customer satisfaction. Next, I analyze the hotel status after the COVID-19 in China through PEST and SWOT. At PEST, in politics, the Chinese government has put forward various policies and measures to reduce fees and taxes to help hotels. In economy, although there were no foreigner customers for a long time in the post-COVID-19 period, the Chinese market has great potential and strong development momentum. In society, COVID-19 has changed people's production and life. People pay more attention to safety and hygiene and advocated a healthy lifestyle. In technology, the application of high-tech products in hotel has become a trend. Next is SWOT analysis. In strength, COVID-19 makes the hotel more and more intergenerations. There is still much room for meaning private domain traffic. In weakness, capital reduced investment in hotel industry and the profit rate of hotel catering business declined steadily, and hotel operations pressure increases. In opportunity, the states has issued a number of supporting policies. China's domestic market has great potential. Next, new media provide new communication channels. In trades, the safety of going out is uncertain and people's hotel consumption demand decrease. the popularity of cloud life and like this. Subdivided consumer groups have higher quality requirements. According to the analysis, I put forward the following suggestion for hotel service marketing channel. In product strategy, customers are more concerned about safety and hygiene. It's necessary to develop no-mean business product innovation. In place strategy, the marketing channel should be changed from traditional offline visit to online marketing. Use new media, build their own self-marketing place. In price strategy, the hotel should develop a price system that is in line with the supply and demand after the COVID-19. In promotion strategy, media public channels combined with promotional strategies. In people strategy, hotel actively assume social responsibility to fulfill the social image of a responsible industry. In process strategy, warm and intensive intimate service being replaced by no-touch service. In physical evidence strategy, hotels need to use a variety of media to convey the value of the hotel's products to produce an effective impact on consumers and to realize consumers' desire to buy. I finally got these conclusions. Metro approach and targeted hotel marketing strategies are become more and more important. Hotels that can do a good job in on-the-job marketing and improve in 7 steps of 7PS0 can get better development in the post-COVID-19 period. Um, uh, about the relations, the hotel industry is facing new challenges in the post-epidemic era, and the safety and healthy live in further stretchment, further rejuvenation of customer resources, further innovation inform further upgrade the business model. The management means was further improved. Finally, is the future research trends. I think it will, with the further study of sales marketing, more factors will be added on the basis of 7P. With the development of Internet of Things and other technologies, more high-tech will be applied to hotel marketing research in the future. Now, the research of service marketing is in the breakthrough stage, and it will be innovation in the future. Thank you. This is my presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yang Ping, on a very thorough discussion on the 7 Ps of hotels after the COVID-19. All right. Before this, do you have any question from the floor for Mr. Yang Ping on his studies? Okay. So let me check. No question. All right. Mr. Yang Ping, Mr. Yang Ping, how's the current situation in your area now? Is tourism continuing now, or people still don't travel in your area?
Sorry, the internet is not good. I can't listening.
Oh, you cannot hear?
Well, about it.
Is people traveling? Are they going for holiday in China? Do they check in hotel? Is it a culture? I mean, is it going on that like that now in China, or people still don't go and holiday in hotel due to the COVID, or how is it the situation?
Uh, and in China, the government controlled the COVID-19 will. So in most area of China, we can um, um, take a vacation and take a tour, and we can drive. Um, but we have to get the QR code to uh, prove we are healthy. So it's step by step. The hotels get more customers.
I see. Okay, so the hotel is continually getting customer, but with a new SOP, with new way of doing things and services, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So your 7Ps will help contribute with the new knowledge on how the hotel industry can promote with the 7Ps. All right, during the COVID-19. Yeah. Okay, young Miss Yang Peng. Okay, all right. I think you have internet problem. Okay. Okay, he's not answering. Okay, it's all
Yeah.
right. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, you Mr.
Because I
Yang
don't
Peng.
know what's wrong with today's VPN.
Oh, it's okay then. It's okay. All right. But anyway, thank you very much for sharing. This is a very interesting, a very interesting area for you to do your research. Yeah, especially now that we are going through COVID-19. Thank you very much for your presentation, Mr. Yang Peng. Okay. All right. So this is all that we have for our today's session. We are room 4, session 2. I say thank you so much for everyone for being here today and sharing your area of studies. And I hope that you can go further, develop further, and keep on sharing your knowledge with all of us. All right. And I thank you so much. Yeah, it's very nice to have all of you here. And when things are getting better, let's travel. You come to Penang. We go to China. We go to Korea. We go to Thailand. Yeah, and we see each other there. All right, in the future. Thank you so much, everyone. My co-chair, would you like to say anything before we go off?
Okay, thank you so much all for the participation, and also thank you so much for Miss Yvonne, our presentation judge today. And also thank you so much Cik Ni Madiha. Thank you so much for your present. And also other Sida, Samsa, thank you so much for your present. Okay, we hope that in future we can visit your country as well. You come and visit us in Malaysia. All right.
Do we need another picture or no need?
Sure.
Okay, the last one, yeah. We'll send to the group, yeah. Then you can get the picture.
Yes, sure. So can you switch on your camera so we can take the pictures for this session? Hi, Wetsida. Thank you so much. Okay, are you ready? Hi, Yang Peng. Finally, we can see you. All right, so we have another session for picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile.
Smile.
1. So another one, join us. Interaction lovely. If you can turn your camera and then we can take picture. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, share. All right, kapunka. Okay,
Bye.
all right, thank you, everybody.
Bye. 再见，Yang Peng. 再见。
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
One, sorry, one.
Thank you, Mr. Yang Peng.
Sorry, I tak ni.
Tak apa.